All right, let's jump right into it. Today, we're going to demystify the world of investing. We'll look at that fundamental trade-off every single investor has to face. And then, we'll unpack a really powerful tool designed for one of the biggest goals out there, saving for an education.
So every investment has a price. And no, I don't just mean the amount of money you put in. The real price is something totally different. And honestly, getting your head around it is the absolute key to making smart moves with your money. So what is this price I'm talking about? Well, in one word, risk. The price you pay for the chance to get a higher return is just how much uncertainty you're willing to handle. And, in finance, there's a specific term for this. It's called the risk premium. You can think of it like hazard pay, but for your money. Because let's be real, most of us don't love risk, so we demand a better potential payout for taking on investments that are a bit more of a gamble. That extra kickback you expect to get, that's the risk premium.
Now, the idea here is actually pretty straightforward when you break it down. Your total expected return is made up of two parts. A base, super safe rate. We're talking something like a government T-bill. Plus that risk premium. So if a T-bill gets you, say, 1%, and some mutual fund is projected to get you 9%, what's that 8% difference? Yep, that's your risk premium. It's your reward for taking the chance.
But here's where it gets interesting. Risk isn't just one big scary thing. It's more of a catch-all term for a whole bunch of different kinds of uncertainty that can mess with your investments. So let's look at a couple of the major ones.
First up, we've got business risk. This one is all about the company you're investing in. How predictable are its sales, its profits. The more up and down a company's cash flow is, the higher its business risk. Simple as that.
And this comparison just lays it out perfectly. A food company, super low business risk. Why? Because people always got to eat, right? Their sales are pretty darn stable. But a car company? Whoa, that's high risk. When the economy takes a nosedive, one of the first things people stop doing is buying a new car. Their sales can swing wildly. Okay, next up is a risk that hits every single one of us, no matter where our money is. It's inflation risk. This is like the silent thief that just slowly eats away at the value of your money, meaning every dollar you have buys a little less today than it did yesterday. So the key thing to get here is the difference between what we call nominal value and real value. If you have $100, that's its nominal value. But if the price of everything doubles, your $100 can suddenly only buy half as much stuff. Its purchasing power, its real value, just got sliced in half. That's inflation risk, right there in your wallet. Okay, that's the theory. But how does any of this apply to real life? Let's talk about one of the biggest financial goals a lot of families have, saving for college or university. This is where managing risk gets super practical, super fast. And in Canada, we're lucky to have a specific tool built for exactly this challenge, the Registered Education Savings Plan, or RSP. It's a special account designed to help you invest for a kid's education, and it comes with some seriously powerful benefits. So let's dig into this a little more, because not all RSPs are created equal. There are a few different flavors, and each one is designed for a different kind of situation.
So you've got three main options. The individual plan is pretty self-explanatory. It's for one person, and hey, they don't even have to be related to you. Then there's the family plan, which is awesome if you have more than one kid, because the money can be shared between them. And finally, you have group plans, where your money is pooled with other people in a big, professionally managed fund.
So what are the rules of the road here? Well, your contributions don't get you a tax deduction up front, but, and this is a big but, the money grows completely tax-free inside the account. When it's time to pay for school, your original contributions come out tax-free, and the growth? That gets taxed in the student's hands, and let's be honest, they're probably in a super low tax bracket. Just remember, there's a lifetime contribution limit of $50,000 per kid.
But here it is. This is the real magic of the RSP. This is its secret weapon. It's not just a savings account. It comes with this huge power-up from the government. It's called the Canada Education Savings Grant, or the CESG.
So what is this power-up? It's a 20% match. Let that sink in. For every dollar you put into an RSEP, up to a limit, the government just adds another 20 cents. It is, without a doubt, a guaranteed 20% return on your money right off the bat. There's nothing else like it.
Here's how it works in practice. Let's say you contribute $2,500 in a single year. Well, the government sees that, and boom, they deposit an extra $500 into the account. It's really that easy. You put your money in, and they just top it up.
And this isn't a one-time thing.
Over the lifetime of the plan, the government will kick in a maximum of $7,200 per child. That is a massive amount of free money that's all going towards helping pay for an education.
And hey, don't worry if you can't put in the maximum every single year. Life happens. We get it. The CESG actually has a carry-forward rule, which means you can catch up on any missed grants in later years. You won't miss out on that free government cash.
So, let's bring this all home. We started out talking about how risk is the price you pay for a potential return. And the whole point isn't to avoid risk completely, because that's impossible. It's about managing it smartly. The RSP, especially when you factor in that government grant, is just the perfect example of a tool that helps you take a calculated risk for a huge, important, long-term goal.
It takes this overwhelming task of saving for school and turns it into a plan that's manageable, structured, and frankly, supercharged. So the question I'll leave you with is this. Now that you know the tools, what's the first calculated risk you're going to take for your own future? Thanks for joining me.